Yeah, g'day everybody. Wade Northhausen here for Billboard Battalion. Today we're coming to you from Lisa Chesters' office here, which is in downtown Bendigo in central Victoria. So today is Sunday, the 11th of May 2025, which just happens to be Mother's Day. So a big day to everybody out there, all the mums, grandmothers and so on. Who look after kids, who have done such a fantastic job over the many, many years. So for those who, mum's no longer with you, a good day to get out to the cemetery or make some calls or whatever it is, take some flowers out and, just remember Mother's Day. So just wanted to say that first of all. So we've been here, Billboard Battalion's been here today in Bendigo at Stand in the Park. Stand in the Park are there pretty well every Sunday. So they do a fantastic job and, everybody's welcome to go down to the Bendigo Stand in the Park, as in fact it is with Stand in the Parks all across Australia and in fact internationally. So that's a great movement that kicked off in the heart of the COVID disaster and was really, really something very important for people to have where they could join with like-minded people, get support, talk about what was happening, have a cuppa and just make new friends. Some are now lifetime friends, and some also have met people there who is now their partner or husband or wife or whatever. So it's great to get down to Stand in the Parks all around the countryside. So today we're only a bit over a week away, or a week past the election day here in Australia. That was the 3rd of May 2025, and in the seat of Bendigo, the federal seat of Bendigo, Lisa Chesters has been the Labor Party incumbent here, and we're still trying to find out if there's actually been a final determination as to whether Lisa Chesters has held on to her seat, or whether the Nationals, Andrew Lethlean, has in fact pinched it at the post and got rid of Lisa Chesters. So this is a very, very interesting contest here. But, with the so-called landslide win by Labor, what they saw in Australia here, people need to understand this was not actually a landslide, and I would venture to say that without the enormous preference deals and so on that were done, it'd be a much, much closer call. The coalition, I think, based on primaries, only had a few. They weren't that far behind Labor in terms of the primaries. So what they're branding as a landslide, massive landslide for Labor, actually wasn't. As I said, the preferences really came into play. And it's interesting now that a week after the final election day, that an incredibly safe Labor seat like Bendigo is now it's on a knife edge. As far as I can see, she's down to the wire here. So I think that that's a great thing to tell that the Labor Party, in real terms, stink, that they are on the nose, that they are just filth. So I think that when we look at, we were here at Lisa Chesters' office, I think it may have been a bit over a year ago, doing a live from here about, the terrible job that Labor and Lisa Chesters was doing, the shocking job. Just the other day, last Friday, in fact, we were not too far, just down around the corner, down the road here and around the corner at Jacinta Allen's office, which is the Victorian Premier, who is nothing more than a terrorist. It's as simple as that, Australia-hating terrorist. But we were there covering what was happening with a huge number of Country Fire Authority fire trucks were brought to Lisa Chesters' office and dumped there by many farmers and other people who make up a big part of the Country Fire Authority volunteer firefighting force. This is, as far as I'm aware, unprecedented. So there was a massive big protest here. Huge number of fire trucks were left there. People handed the keys into the Premier's door because the Premier is too weak, is too much of a coward, too much of a traitor to actually be there, to maybe talk to firefighters, to talk to farmers and other people as well about this shocking, terrible change or legislation that she wants to bring in that will destroy many farmers and many house owners, many owners of industrial land, because this is set to go in on your rates. This is something that your local Shire Council is going to have to collect on behalf of the terrorists who occupy Spring Street. So this is a disaster. And as I understand it, this legislation is due to be passed, or these regs are due to be passed next Tuesday in Parliament in Melbourne, to where there is going to be an enormous protest there by huge numbers of people with fire trucks, landowners, farmers, people who, are going to have to pay, in some cases, 180% increase in what they used to call the old fire services levy. So, we really encourage everybody to get to Melbourne, to Spring Street, next Tuesday at 11 a.m. is the planned time for the protest in Melbourne there. So, everybody, I do understand there's a lot of people coming from quite far away. So, this is not just about farmers. This is about anybody who owns property, particularly people in the cities, because, they try and make out this is a farmer situation. It's not just that. So we need people in the cities to realise similarly that their rates, I think, are going, their fire services levy is going to explode by 100%. So it will just double, just because Jacinta Allen thinks, well, let's see what we can do to destroy more landholders, send them broke and make them sell up because they can't be there. They can't afford to keep in the place. So that's going to be happening. And I just thought, well, I'll do a plug for that based on this is current. And this is Victorian state government stuff, but this is current. So now to get down to our fearless warrior, Lisa Chesters. So anything connected to Labor is bad. It is disastrous. And now that sleazy Albanese, a scumbag, appears, and still there's questions as to the validity of the actual election, the validity of who did votes, counted votes, where they came, who's influenced it, and all kinds of things. So there appears to be still a lot of questions about the integrity of the vote, whether the AEC is actually doing the right thing or what the hell's going on. But anyway, so Lisa Chesters here in Bendigo. She's a Labor Party member, lower house, House of Representatives. And I can tell you right now, she is not standing up for the best interests of people in the Bendigo electorate. She is just running with campaigns that the Labor Party are running that are absolutely anti-Australian. They're anti-homeowner, they're anti-farmer, they're anti-everything. And what we're highlighting currently is that the Labor Party are making plans to sign up to the final version of the World Health Organization plans for so-called pandemics. And I want people to understand what this actually means, because what the World Health Organization want, and they are not interested in your health, in your good health. They are interested in creating your very bad health to the point where you're no longer alive. That's what the World Health Organization is. So the Australian government is signing up to these WHO pandemic treaties that will give them one man who runs the WHO. If they declare a pandemic, a disease of international importance, then that triggers a situation where the Australian government hands over the running of the country and everything in it to literally a terrorist, a wanted terrorist. This is where this is at. And this is the whole problem we've got. This is one of the things where Lisa Chesters should be condemned, and every politician, irrespective of what party, who supports the handing over Australia to the World Health Organization should be, after receiving a fair trial on charges of mass murder, crimes against humanity, and conspiracy to commit genocide. Every politician who has supported it should be then given a fair trial and jailed forever. That should happen. That should be mandatory. There should be no ifs or buts. If they've signed up to this thing, they should go to jail forever. Because what they're doing is they're giving a terrorist organisation, the WHO, the power to shut down our country, because that is their intentions. They're giving them the power to bring back lockdowns permanently, to bring forced so-called vaccinations, but they're actually poisonings, forced poisonings, to shut down industry, to shut down business, to shut down transport, your ability to get food, to shut down electricity. You have no idea what this is about. And we are making absolutely sure that people like Lisa Chesters here, if she ends up getting re-elected, then she needs to know that the Australian people want her in jail, as well as that stinking Albanese, in particular people like Penny Wong, people like the entire Labor cabinet, and everybody who's contributed to us being tied up to this World Health Organization terrorist attack, which it is. This is on the back of what we saw with COVID. COVID was a part of this plan. All the stuff that people were injected with, it is now absolutely crystal clear from so many medical experts that that was literally a biological weapon. It's a poison. And we also need to look at the likes of APRA. APRA, similarly to these politicians right here, Albanese and people like Peter Dutton, the rest of them who have all signed up to this, APRA should also be on charges of mass murder. They have shut down our doctors. They shut down the entire medical profession from telling people the truth. They covered up the medications that could have saved people's lives. They shut that down. So when we're talking here about Lisa Chesters and whoever other people make up the cohort in the Labor Party, you look at the Greens and the Teals in Canberra, anybody who supports this stuff, that's where they need to end up. Because, we need people to understand how serious this is. We need people to be prepared to push back. We need people to come together and be prepared to fight this stuff. And there's so many people who don't understand it. There's so many people who don't know about it because they don't want you to understand it or know about it. But I can tell you right now, after 2005, when they sign us up to this garbage, you better get ready to fight for your life. You haven't done it so far. So many people have not wanted to know, but it's coming back. Everything that we say on the Billboard Battalion bus, they're coming to take everything you've got. Permanent lockdowns are coming, a whole lot. This is occurring. And people like Lisa Chesters, she's helping it to happen. So I want people to remember, when they start telling their kids they're going to be force jabbed, when they tell you you're going to be force jabbed, that you have no option, that you're not going to get food, you're not going to get whatever it is that they're telling you not going to get, remember, people like Lisa Chesters are responsible. Anybody who voted for this stuff is responsible. So we need to keep this in mind, and we'll keep you up to date when there is actually some kind of a defining vote, defining declaration by the AEC of who has won the seat of Bendigo. Whether it's Lisa Chesters here or Andrew Lethlean, we will make attempts to do an interview with them and see exactly where things lie, see where it stands, because I can guarantee you, good old Lisa, yeah, she'll do a runner as hard as she can. What happens is with these politicians, generally speaking, if you want to talk to them or you're going to do something outside their office, they like to join up, call the cops, and everybody runs away. This is their standard MO. So hopefully the people of the Bendigo region have got rid of her. But by the same token, there's a long way to go and a lot of work to do to get the political system back to where they're fighting for us to live and survive, because as it is at the minute, this is looking very catastrophically dangerous for the people of Australia. And Stinkin' Albanese and his other motley mongrel crew are hell-bent on destroying our country and your lives. So just remember that for the people who may have voted Labor or Greens, just remember they're the ones at the head at the minute. They're the ones who are responsible. They're not on their own, obviously. There's a lot of others, and I've spoken about this on many occasions. But right here today, we're talking about Lisa Chesters. So we might just wrap it up at that. It's been a beautiful day here in Bendigo. Been down at Stanley Park, caught up with some terrific people, and we've had a few other bits and pieces go on too, but we'll leave that for another day. So when the protest happens in Melbourne next Tuesday at 11 o'clock in front of Parliament House, turn up, give everybody support, and make these politicians know we're not prepared to put up with it. We need our country to come together. We need country people and city people to come together, and we need to fight back. We need to fight back hard, and we need to fight back immediately. In fact, 10 years ago, but here we are. Thanks very much. Wade Northhausen here for Billboard Battalion, Bendigo, Central Victoria, Australia.